Hi, my name is Jeff Reedy. I'm part of the EM2024 team, and I'm here to demonstrate on how to take the mount and put it onto the tripod. What I've done first is I remove the ball head, and that would go onto the mount here. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to get the mount onto the tripod, and we'll begin by removing the quick release plate. And remember, your quick release plate might look different than the one that I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and screw the quick release plate on. Be aware of the orientation of the plate. In this case, if you look very carefully, there's a little arrow pointing to where the front of the lens is. So the lens should be pointing out this way. You can use a quarter or a screwdriver, whatever you have available. So go ahead and tighten this down. We're going to put this onto the tripod. It's a little bit different. I have to push in the release to get it to slide on, and then I'm going to lock it in place. So now that it's locked in place, I'm going to lock all the other parts so that they don't move. One of the key things you have to make sure is that the hand head is level and mounts support straight up and down. And before we even think about putting the camera on, we need to make sure that the counterweight is on. If you're using the water bottle method to use as a mast for counterweight for your camera, you need to make sure that it's going to swing and the weight is not obstructed by any of the legs. Unscrew one of the screws and put our counterweight on. And I'm going to tighten down the nuts here. So now that we have the counterweight on, I'm going to put the joint onto the bottom of the camera. So I'm going to start with the ball joint and attach it to the camera. I would recommend doing that first before attaching it to the rest of the mount. I will take a number 2 screwdriver, and I'm going to attach the camera to the mount. And as always, make sure that your ball joint or your ball head is nice and tight. Okay. I'm using a screwdriver to help me with that. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach this. I'm going to feed the screw through and get it started into the either the ball head or the ball joint, whatever you're using. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down. Okay, so now this is nice and tight. The setup is set up correctly. And if we swing the camera left or right, okay, I don't have it actually hooked up to electricity, so there's no juice getting to the computer and there's no rotation. But if you could see here, the counterweight balances the camera pretty well for most of the positions that the camera would be in. So the counterweight is 1 pound. And the way that's applied is that this distance here from the center of mass for the camera. And if you take that distance and double it, the counterweight should be half the mass of the camera. So if the camera is 2 pounds, the counterweight should be 1 pound. We verified that the swinging action of the camera on the tripod clears the legs. There's no obstructions to the full range of motion. And this is just about ready to, if we're taking photographs of the sun, I would be making those adjustments now and getting it pointed in the appropriate direction.